The unexpected encounter. It was a chilly autumn day as I walked down the quiet street of the small town I had just moved to, excited to start a new chapter in my life. The air was crisp, and the leaves danced in the gentle breeze while I got lost in my thoughts. Suddenly, a soft voice broke through my daydreaming. "Excuse me, do you know where the library is?" a young man asked, his eyes shining with curiosity. I turned to him, and I felt a catch in my breath. He had a kind smile that instantly made me feel at ease. There was something familiar about him, but I just couldn't place it. "The library is just down the street, on the corner," I replied, trying to compose myself. "Thanks so much," he said, his voice warm and inviting. "I'm new here, and I'm still figuring things out." "I just moved here too," I admitted, feeling an unexpected connection to this stranger. We ended up walking to the library together, chatting about our new lives in this peaceful town. I learned his name was Ethan, and he had moved here for a new job. As we said our goodbyes, I couldn't shake the excitement about the possibility of a budding friendship. Over the next few weeks, I found myself thinking about Ethan more and more. I would often see him around town, always with a book in hand or a smile on his face. One day, while grabbing coffee at the local cafe, I spotted him sitting by the window, absorbed in a novel. Gathering my courage, I approached him. "Hi, Ethan. Is this seat taken?" I asked, pointing to the empty chair beside him. He looked up, and his face lit up with recognition. "Not at all. Please, join me." We spent the next hour sipping coffee and sharing stories about our lives. I was drawn to his warmth and genuine interest in what I had to say. There was something about him that felt right, as if we had known each other for years. As the days turned into weeks, our chance meetings grew into a blossoming friendship. We often took walks around the lake, marveling at the beauty of the changing seasons. Ethan's love for nature and his infectious enthusiasm reminded me of the joy I had been missing. One day, while we were walking through the park, Ethan stopped and turned to me, his eyes shining with emotion. "I feel like I've known you forever, even though we just met. There's something about you that feels so familiar." I nodded, feeling a lump in my throat. "I feel the same way. There's just something about you that makes me feel at home." We stood in silence for a moment, the autumn leaves swirling around us. Then it suddenly hit me, the way Ethan's eyes sparkled, his gentle smile, and his deep love for nature. All of it reminded me of the joy and peace I had been searching for. Tears filled my eyes as the realization sank in. Ethan must have sensed my shift in mood because he reached out and took my hand, his touch warm and comforting. "What's going on?" he asked softly. I took a deep breath, and the words spilled out. I told him how moving to this town had felt like a fresh start, and how his presence had given me a sense of belonging that I hadn't felt in a long time. To my surprise, Ethan listened intently, his eyes full of understanding. "I'm so glad we met," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "I feel like you're the missing piece in my life, and now I've found you." As we continued our walk, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. The pain of my past was still there, but with Ethan by my side, I started to see the possibility of a new chapter in my life. His kindness and empathy soothed my soul, and I knew I had found a kindred spirit. From that day on, our friendship blossomed into something truly special. We shared our dreams, fears, and hopes for the future. Ethan's gentle presence and unwavering support helped me heal in ways I never thought possible. Looking back on that day, when we first crossed paths, I can't help but feel it was more than just a chance encounter. It marked the beginning of a new journey, one that would lead me to a future filled with love, hope, and fresh starts. As the seasons changed, so did our relationship. From crisp autumn days to snowy winter nights, we became inseparable. We built a life together in that small town, creating memories that would last a lifetime. Ethan and I opened a small bookstore, a place where we could share our love for literature with the community. The shelves were filled with stories of adventure, romance, and self-discovery, much like our own. Years passed, and our little bookstore became a hub for the town, a place where people came to escape the ordinary and find comfort in the pages of a good book. We hosted readings, book clubs, and writing workshops, fostering a love for literature in the hearts of the townsfolk. Our lives were filled with laughter, love, and shared experiences. We traveled together, explored new places, and always returned to our little town, our home. As we grew older, we found comfort in knowing we had each other. We had built a life filled with love and happiness. Sitting on the porch of our bookstore, watching the leaves change color once again, we knew we had found forever in each other's arms. With a smile on my face and a heart full of love, I looked at Ethan, knowing our unexpected encounter had led us to a life of joy and fulfillment. We had found our home, our love, and our future in each other, and I would be forever grateful. As the years went by, our love only deepened, like the roots of an old oak tree, strong and unshakable. The little bookstore became a beacon of warmth and wisdom, where our love for stories and for each other continued to flourish. One autumn evening, as the sun was setting and casting a golden glow over the town, Ethan closed up the bookstore and led me to the park where we had first connected. The leaves had transformed into a fiery display of reds and oranges, just like they had on that day so many years ago. We walked hand in hand, our steps in sync, as if we were dancing to a song only we could hear. The air was crisp, filled with the scent of wood smoke and apples. When we reached the lake, we found a quiet spot where the water met the shore. Ethan turned to me, his eyes filled with a depth of love that took my breath away. He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a small, beautifully wrapped gift. "For you?" he said, his voice thick with emotion. I carefully unwrapped the package to reveal a beautiful antique book of sonnets. My hands trembled as I opened the cover and saw the inscription, "To my beloved, with all the love a heart can hold, now and forevermore." Tears welled up in my eyes as I looked at him, my heart swelling with love. "Ethan, it's perfect," I whispered. He smiled and took the book from my hands, flipping to a marked page. Then he began to read a sonnet aloud, his voice strong and clear, echoing across the water and through the trees. As the last words of the sonnet faded into the evening air, Ethan got down on one knee and took my hand. From his pocket he pulled out a simple gold band, glinting in the fading light. "Will you marry me?" he asked, his eyes locked on mine. I could barely get the words out through my tears, but I managed to say the word that would change our lives forever. Yes. The town celebrated our wedding with so much joy. It felt like we were their own children. The bookstore was filled with flowers, and the park transformed into a magical garden where we exchanged our vows under the same old oak tree that had witnessed our first heartfelt conversation. As husband and wife, Ethan and I continued to nurture our love and our town. We grew old together, hand in hand, our hearts forever intertwined. On our golden anniversary, we danced under the stars, the same stars that had shone down on us on our wedding day. Looking into each other's eyes, we saw the reflection of a lifetime filled with love and happiness. As the music played and the town celebrated with us, Ethan leaned in and whispered in my ear, "Thank you for saying yes." I smiled through my tears and held him close, knowing our love story was one for the ages, a tale of an unexpected encounter that blossomed into a lifetime of joy and devotion. And so, as the final notes of the music faded away, we knew our love would continue to grow, like the ivy climbing the walls of our beloved bookstore, a symbol of the enduring bond we shared. Our story, like the pages of the books in our shop, was a testament to the power of love, the beauty of life, and the magic found in the most unexpected encounters. And as we danced under the stars, we knew our love would last forever, a beautiful ending to our romantic tale. Now is fun quiz time. Quiz 1. What season is the story set in? A. Summer. B. Winter. C. Autumn. D. Spring. Answer. C. Autumn. Quiz 2. Where does Ethan propose to the narrator? A. At the bookstore. B. On a trip they took. C. In the park where they first met. D. At a fancy restaurant. Answer. C. In the park where they first met. Quiz 3. What does Ethan give the narrator as a gift? A. A necklace. B. An antique book. C. A bouquet of flowers. D. A music box. Answer. B. An antique book. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories and language tips. See you next time.